Hello, welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition. Full disclosure, it has been quite a while since I've played from my last video. I got a little bit busy and I didn't have a chance to play in between. It's been, I think, at least a couple weeks. um, I did go back and just quickly scrub through my last video, and I think I talked to everyone in here at least once. I got their cutscene dialogue. And I was planning to just go out to the Hinterlands, so I think that's what I'm going to do. I can't remember if I had war table missions going, so we'll just go in here to check and see if I have any rewards. Ah, I did. Okay, so let's check these out.
You were saying something about Cullen?
Yes. Haven has limited space for our soldiers to train. Perhaps we could set up something over here.
Alright, so this was deal with the relatives of the Trevelyan's. Dear Lady Montilier, the Herald of Andraste's relatives have become much more restrained when discussing the Inquisition, going so far as to avoid the subject entirely. Whatever future boon they may ask of us, their newfound modesty is most gratifying. Best regards, Lady Buttlefort. Perfect. And 30 influence. Okay, then we have Hardin Hightown. My dear Liliana, your author friend is truly a mystery. Our search uncovered only a string of foreign accounts. The trail of coin led from Antiva to Tevinter to the Three Marches and Orlais. Someone hid their tracks well, but not well enough. Your writer is in Kirkwall. And remember, you owe me a favor. A. You get an Amulet of Power, which I believe is for Varric, which is a pretty good reward, honestly, especially for a war table mission. Address a nobleman's concerns. Commander Cullen, am I to understand you are in charge of the soldiers trampling on my lawns, providing food and refuge to the scrabble of filth burrowing into my land? A plague on you, sir, for spitting in the face of an honest petitioner, for taking advantage of my distress. Did my wretched neighbor, Bantraft, whisper in your ear? Tell me what he paid you, so that I may at least know the price of treachery, sir. My only consolation is that a few of the rank and file have gone to join your farce of an inquisition. In bitterest disgust, Lord Kildarn. I love how over the top he is. Okay, so I guess I'll send this one out. The Terran of High Ever. To whom it concerns, the Terranier of High Ever wishes to convey our deepest sympathies on the death of Divine Justinia V. The Most Holy was incomparable in her wisdom and dedication to peace, and we had high hopes that her conclave would succeed. We will hold a vigil in High Ever in remembrance of Justinia, and cordially invite the Inquisition to attend. Sincerely, Terran Fergus Cousland. Okay. And Cousland is the one of the origins in Dragon Age Origins. You can choose to be a Cousland. I don't remember if Fergus was actually in the game. I haven't played it in a while. Let's see. So Cullen can send an honor guard. Write to him. I think we'll send Cullen. We have a number of Ferelden officers. We could send an honor guard to High Ever.
To work?
Sounds good. Okay, and then this is just gather coin. Up until now, Inquisition forces have had the benefit of the Chantry's deep coffers. Now the Inquisition is forced to seek out its own sources of revenue if it is going to grow further. Trade in and out of Haven is limited at this point, but there are various opportunities to earn coin, provided the Inquisition is willing to focus its efforts on the matter. And this is a repeatable mission. You can send people as many times as you want, and you can send whoever you want, and it really doesn't matter. You get a small amount of coin. It's not the greatest. Usually I'll do it once, and if for some reason I don't have any other missions available, I'll just send someone out. But it's not the greatest. I'll send Josephine. Trading in favors with merchants and the nobility is my specialty. It could earn us a great deal if we're careful.
At your service.
Okay, so let's go to the Hinterlands, which we already opened up in the last video.
World of Andraste. I've heard the stories. Everyone has. We know what you did at the breach. Everyone's a little nervous around mages right now, but you'll get no backtalk here. That's a promise. Inquisition Scout Harding, at your service. Well, all of us here, will do whatever we can to help.
Harding, huh? Ever been to Kirkwall's Hightown?
I can't say I have. Why?
You'd be Harding and... No, never mind.
Ugh. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
We should get to business. The situation's pretty dire. We came to secure horses from Redcliffe's old horsemaster. I grew up here, and people always said that Dennett's herds were the strongest and the fastest this side of the Frostbacks. But with the Mage Templar fighting getting worse, we couldn't get to Dennett. Maker only knows if he's even still alive. Mother Giselle's at the crossroads helping refugees and the wounded. Our latest reports say that the war's spread there too. Corporal Vale and our men are doing what they can to help protect the people, but they won't be able to hold out very long. You best get going. No time to lose.
Okay, here we go. I'm pretty sure that the voice actor for Scout Harding is the same as the voice actor for Liara from Mass Effect. I think I read that at some point. And it's funny, I've been playing Greedfall somewhat recently as well, and the voice actors for both Blackwall and Dorian are in that game as various characters, and I recognize their voices right away. A letter in an empty home. Brithis, I know you escaped with the other mages, and I know you'll come here. Father told you that if you ever strayed, he'd put you down himself. If you're here, you know he's dead. But I'm not. I'll be killing apostates and waiting for you at Old Fenix Place to the north. I've got Father's sword and my true brothers in the Templars. Come if you're man enough. Yvain.
Interesting reading. Could be worth a look.
I always like hearing my favorite voice actors and other things, especially when you're like, oh, it's this person. Like I played a tiny little bit of...
Mother Giselle should be somewhere nearby.
A tiny little bit of Destiny 2, and Fenris's voice actor is in that. He has a very distinctive voice. I recognized him immediately as well.
Inquisition forces. They're trying to protect the refugees.
Looks like they could use a hand.
Whoops. I kind of forget what spells I have, sorry. It's going to take me a second to remember.
Hold. We
There
are
we go.
not apostates.
I do not think they care, Seeker.
They can take you.
are not Templars. We mean you no harm.
Doesn't look like they're listening.
Be ready. More coming our way.
We are victorious once more.
There are mages here who can heal your wounds. Lie still.
Don't touch me, Mother. Their magic is...
Turn to noble purpose. Their magic is surely no more evil than your blade.
But...
Hush, dear boy. Allow them to ease your suffering. Mother Giselle. I am. And you must be the one they are calling the Herald of Andraste. What you said to that soldier. We do not teach that magic is evil. We teach that pride is evil, and does not corrupt only mages. But I did not ask you to come simply to debate with me. Then why am I here? I know of the Chantry's denouncement, and I am familiar with those behind it. I won't lie to you. Some of them are grandstanding, hoping to increase their chances of becoming the new divine. Some are simply terrified. So many good people, senselessly taken from us. What happened was horrible. Fear makes us desperate, but hopefully not beyond reason. Go to them. Convince the remaining clerics you are no demon to be feared. They have heard only frightful tales of you. Give them something else to believe. You want me to appeal to them? If I thought you were incapable, I wouldn't suggest it. Will they even listen? Let me put it this way. You needn't convince them all. You just need some of them to doubt. Their power is their unified voice. Take that from them and you receive the time you need. It's good of you to do this. I honestly don't know if you've been touched by fate, or sent to help us, but I hope. Hope is what we need now. The people will listen to your rallying call, as they will listen to no other. You could build the Inquisition into a force that will deliver us, or destroy us. I will go to Haven, and provide Sister Leliana the names of those in the Chantry who will be amenable to a gathering. It is not much, but I will do whatever I can.
Corporal Vale is coordinating the Inquisition's efforts in the area. We should speak with him.
A letter to revered Mother Giselle. To my friend and faithful servant, revered Mother Giselle. The Grand Clerics tell me you have requested more aid in tending the refugees who are gathering in and around Redcliffe. Your efforts are indeed most appreciated, although in the future, when you are asked how many refugees will be helped by your efforts for requisitioning purposes, it may help if you provide an actual numerical answer as opposed to the worthy but unspecific, as many as we can. It breaks my heart to see this war cross the Maker's land, Giselle. I would that you were here with me at the Temple of Sacred Ashes. Your words have calmed many irate minds over the years, and we will not lack for those at the Conclave. Still, I am glad that the refugees have you to care for them. Too many in the halls of power have forgotten our faithful. If any pressure you to accommodate their views, you must let me know at once. Maker willing, this war shall all be over soon, Giselle. Be well, and go with my blessing. In service of the Maker, Divine Justinia V.
It's good to have commerce restored.
Ooh, gosh, I forgot about these things. Okay. So, unfortunately, there are certain things you come across in the world that are out of order. So, these stanzas are all like across the hinterlands, but they're all, you come across them out of order, so it doesn't really make sense. I'll read them, but I wish that it was more of a, it was less like this one is, this marker is this stanza. You know, I wish the first one you picked up is the first and the second is the second. I think it would just make things a lot more sensical, because you kind of have to wait to read them. Like, I read these again later in order, and I was like, oh, this is actually really cool. But, you know, and same with Varric's book, when you come across chapters of it out of order, it just doesn't make any sense. It's hard to comprehend. But in because I said that I would read every codex, I'm gonna read it anyway, so here we go. The Saga of Tyrda Brightaxe, Avermother, the 7th stanza. Tyrda Brightaxe, dwarf friend chieftain, with her leaf-eared lover lay. Woke she did to love-sweat morning, lover gone in light of day. Dream words whispered, spoken soft, still the silence crushed and crashing. Dead her tribe, unless a child could keep her line in warrior fashion. Avalvar, so named the lover, called our journey yours and mine. One day child of Tyrda's blood, Morriganen in strength must shine. Lovers whispers to obey, Hendir dwarf prince friend in passion. Babe produced to serve the line, the Avar tribe her name are taking. Yeah, it out of context, it's doesn't make any sense. But it is a cool story, so I would recommend maybe trying to find those codexes online somewhere so you could read them in order, because it is cool.
Can you help my wife? Please, I beg you.
What's wrong with your wife?
She gets sick when the weather's foul. Can't catch her breath, like cobwebs in her lungs. Our son Hindle makes a potion that lets her breathe. He's the only one who can make it, but he's joined that cult in the hills. Please, get to him and tell him what's wrong. Without that potion, she'll die.
And this is not a real criticism. It's just funny. It's a funny video game thing. You know, you get this quest from this person who's just like, oh my goodness, my wife can't breathe and she's about to die. And then you're like, I'm just going to go pick some elf fruit for a while. You know, 2 hours later, I'll come back and maybe finish your quest. It's just funny to me when that stuff happens. Because it's like, it's funny. Letter found in a Redcliffe home. Father, I'm going into the mountains to join the people up there. They're making sense right now when the rest of the world is not. We can't tend the field since Master Dennett and his wife sent us all away for safety, and I can't just stay here and watch the refugees starve outside our home. You and Mother should come, Father. You'll be safe up there. The mages have no quarrel with the people in the mountains, and even the Templars don't harass them. Nowhere else outside of Redcliffe is safe from this Maker-cursed war or the demons pouring out of the sky. But you won't come, will you? You'd rather stay on our tiny bit of land because it's ours. So be it. It's yours until those madmen catch you in their fight. Then you and Mother will just be 2 more charred corpses in a burned-out village. I'm not staying to watch you die like a fool. Hindle.
Yes, sir. That's the last of the bread.
Going to be a long, hungry night.
These people need food.
There are rams out in the hills. Good eating, cooks easy, and no lords around to kill you for poaching. Too dangerous to go hunting now. More likely to find mages than luck.
Good luck.
Luck won't put fat on your ribs.
Hunter's view of the Mage Templar War. The words in this note have many misspellings and are scrawled in a clumsy hand. Mother Valerie said things I saw won't get out my head less I put them somewhere else. She told me write it down. It's a long time since I did letters, but I'll try. I saw refugees in the hills. I was there to hunt. I saw them, but did not say hello because I was on the trail. The refugees were going to Redcliffe. They were slow and bent over when they walked, like old men. Templars came. They talked to the refugees. They hit them. The refugees gave food. Then mages came. The mages used fire. Everyone burned. I was in a bush. They did not see me. Some Templars killed the mages. The mages ran. The Templars wanted to run after them. A refugee was still burning. His arm went up to a Templar. The Templar used his sword. It went up and down, up and down. There were pieces of black. He stayed while other Templars ran after mages. He took things from bodies. One body was moving. It had long hair and burned dress. The Templar started to take off his armor, and I shot him. I went down to the lady. She made little noises, and her eyes looked at me. Then she died. I want it to go out of my head, please, Maker. I've been good. I want it to go out of my head. Gosh, that's so sad.
Yes.
I think what Redcliffe, or what the Hinterlands really comes across, or tries to get across to you, is that, you know, there are just people trying to live their lives who are caught in the middle of this conflict, you know, as most conflicts that happen. Healer's notes at Redcliffe Crossroads. Low on elf fruit. Send girl out tomorrow to gather more. Send village boy with her. Fighting closer. Redcliffe closed gates. Refugees staying by crossroads now. Treated refugees. Illness and stomach trouble from eating spoiled food. Burn marks consistent with magic attacks. One elderly refugee had bone sickness, made worse by fleeing village when apostates attacked. More refugee arrivals. Elf root, spindleweed low. Treated slash wounds, contusions, internal bleeding. 6 treated, 2 eased to Maker. Reported Templars attacked them as suspected apostates. Treated frost cough at crossroads. Sent letter to Redcliffe asking for blankets. No response. Widow Tane passed in sleep. Treated hunger shivers at crossroads. More refugees. Burns and contusions, severe bleeding. Caught in fighting between apostates and Templars. Amputated arm to save girl. Will die without more elf fruit. Anyway, but too dangerous to gather more. Girl running high fever. Refugees found merchant wagon burning on way to crossroads. Matched old Vin's wagon. No bodies, but everything in wagon taken. No more supplies coming. Think girl will make it. Use last of elf fruit. Making poultices from whatever I can find. Telling refugees to boil anything they eat or drink. Too many sick. Giselle came, said Inquisition help is not far behind. Fighting outside. Sounds like Templars and mages both. Refugees scattered. Someone outside screaming. Have to help. From a journal belonging to the old healer who lived at the Red Cliff Crossroads and was believed to be killed in the fighting. Yeah, I mean, you know, they really try to push the, you know, Templars bad, mages good, especially, well, I was going to say especially in this game, but I would say even more so in 2. But you read things like that and you're just like, well, I mean, both of them are kind of at fault for everything that's happening right now. I mean, oh gosh, I don't want to get into a whole mage versus Templar discussion. Maybe when we get to those quests, I'll sort of make my say my opinions on everything. But it's not. I don't think it's as cut as dry as a lot of people make it out to be.
Where are their coats?
What do you need to keep these refugees warm?
Blankets, warm clothes, all of it. These poor sods lost everything when the mages and the Templars went crazy. If we were in a village, I could just pinch a blanket off a clothesline and be fine. Out here, I'm sure the apostates have plenty of supplies, just haven't been able to find them.
Farewell.
And to you.
Solas, have you always lived alone? Out in the wilderness as an apostate?
For the most part.
Would that not be incredibly trying?
People can be trying. Mankind most of all.
That is an excellent point.
That is an excellent point. Very much so. I like to get all of these little quests started here in the starting area, so let's just talk to Corporal Vale.
Corporal Vale, thanks for your help. The Mages and Templars don't seem to care who gets caught in their war. The refugees here are in dire need of help. If the war doesn't kill them, cold or starvation will.
What can you tell me about the man who's supposed to be getting horses for the Inquisition?
Horsemaster Dennett. He lives on a farm to the west. Tough old fella. We haven't heard from him. Best we can tell, he's holed up until the Mages and Templars are done killing each other.
What can you tell me about the Templars?
All the Templars were called to Val Royeaux not long ago. These bastards ignored the order. Now they're killing rebel mages, along with any refugees they think are mage sympathizers. Every Templar I've ever known has wanted to protect the common folk. These men defile their order's good name.
What can you tell me about the rebel mages?
The real rebels are up north in Redcliffe, dug in and taking care of their own. The ones out here are just apostates, locked up in the circles all these years, and now they've gone mad with power. The rebels in Redcliffe have washed their hands of them. I wish we could do the same.
You were concerned about refugees starving.
Yes. Many of them brought food, but they expected to be home by now, or safe in a city. There's a hunter up the hill who had some ideas.
Is there anything we can do to help people deal with the cold?
I asked the Inquisition to send blankets. You'd think I was asking for a wagon of raw lyrium. A recruit named Whittle is trying to make what we can bring in last. If you have any ideas, talk to him across the road.
What other problems do these refugees face?
We've got some injuries that go beyond stitches and Elfrid. I know healers are in short supply, but if you can find someone in Redcliffe to help us, it would save a lot of lives.
Farewell.
And you as well.
Alright, there's a little thing about power. Okay. What should I do first? It kind of varies depending on how I feel, where I want to go first. One thing that I actually really like to do first, before I do anything, is to clear out the Templar encampment and the apostate encampment in the Witchwood, because you'll find if you just start traveling around the Hinterlands at first, you run into just random groups of mages and Templars fighting, and then you have to constantly stop and fight them and all that kind of stuff, and it can get annoying. But if you clear out their camps, they stop spawning. You don't run into them anymore. So it's really nice to do that as early as possible, just to get that out of the way. But unfortunately, the Templar encampment's not bad, but the Witchwood can be a bit challenging, just because there's so many mages, and it's kind of a tight little squeeze in there. So I think this time what I might do, maybe I'll go up this way towards Redcliffe and just get this side opened up a little bit. Yeah, I think I'll do that. There's a couple random people in here that I don't normally talk to, because they don't give you quests or anything like that. They're just kind of random NPCs. So I wasn't really planning on talking to them, but I don't know. Maybe if I've just done a lot of fighting, I can come back and just have a few conversations. There's a lot of conversations that you can have in this game, so I'm trying to keep it as spread out as possible. Because even for me when I'm playing, sometimes I'm just like, oh, okay, I'm sick of hearing you talk. I just want to like play the game for a bit, so. Alright, let's not... Oh, here we go. I was gonna say, let's avoid this rift, but I guess we have to fight these bozos.
Fighting between the mages and the Templars has cost too many innocent lives.
And I should also be watching out for rams, so you can finish that ram's meat quest. Pro tip for people like me who are idiots and didn't realize, you don't have to just kill the rams in the actual locations that's marked on the map.
Take a closer look.
You can kill them anywhere. So...
Some time since the Renegade Templars faced a mage of any talent.
Yeah, you can avoid these little encounters if you get rid of their encampments as soon as possible.
A Templar, I believe.
Let's just kill these guys first. Oh my god, I keep pressing these buttons. It's not the one that I want. A letter found on a dead Templar. Templar Corin. In light of the current hostilities, I believe our arrangement is no longer satisfactory. You are unable to reach me with payment, and I have no means of delivering the merchandise to you. I hope that when this unfortunate situation is resolved, we may once again do business. Tanner. Oh, I can level these guys up too. Okay, let's just switch to Barrick. Get him to open this. Bottles of Thetis. Butterbile, 784. A hard liquor that is not so much served as it is brandished. Coarse and indifferent, it is to your taste, or it is not. The failing is yours if you cannot raise or lower to the challenge of a distiller told not to. I love the bottles. A lot of them are really funny or just interesting. I think a lot of people skip over them because they're like, what is this? And then you don't really see them again unless you really investigate Skyhold. Spoiler for the future. I've been spoiling things all over the place, honestly. I'm sorry if this is your first time and you're like, what are you talking about? What's Skyhold? Oops. Here we go. Let's investigate this. Oh, right, I was gonna level these guys up as well. Just give them their extra points. Varric, I think I'll give him... I want to give him Exploding Shot, so I'm gonna go down this tree and give him First Blood. You do more damage to enemies that are only lightly injured. Cassandra... I think, again, I want to get down to Livid, so I think I will just do this, which is always good. Maximum guard bonus up 25%. And Solus... I guess I'll stick with the cold for him. I don't find a lot of the rest of the stuff in the spirit tree to be that useful. This is kind of good, but I don't know. I'd rather my party do more damage. And he casts Barrier pretty frequently anyway, so I think I'm just going to use... Actually, I'm going to do this upgrade. This one is crazy. Enemies that are already frozen or chilled take massive damage when hit with Winter's Grasp. 1000% weapon damage. I've used this a lot. I've exploited this as a mage for sure. And I think it works if you get runes, like frost runes and stuff. If you hit an enemy that's chilled with this spell, they explode. It's pretty great. It's hard when you don't have any other frost stuff, but you may be able to keep them chilled from this alone. Anyway, I think it's good to give to him in case that comes naturally, like he just does it. Because it's so powerful. Oh, please don't see me, please don't see me. I don't want to fight you. Haha. I'm willing to take a little bit of fall damage if it means I don't have to walk all the way around. Oop. It's Embrium. Stronghold of the Apostate Mages. They did not want us to dream because they knew we would dream of the truth, of power, of the weakness in the world that will let us break it and forge it anew. We are the chosen ones, we who have the power to enact change in this world and the will to see it through. We have conquered the circles. We will conquer the Templars. Come with us to the Witchwood. None who have the power of the Fade at their hands will be turned away. An unsigned letter, the edge of the page partially burned. Yeah, this is what I was talking about with the stronghold. But I don't know if I'm really ready to do it yet. Because you can get to it through there. We see where all the ice is. You can just go in there and do it. But I don't think I'm ready for that yet. Yeah, I'm just gonna open up Redcliffe.
Redcliffe Village should be right up ahead.
The village is off limits. There's been too much fighting between Templars and mages. Take it elsewhere.
Huh. Interesting. Okay, so I guess I've never come up here first. Like, before I've done anything else, because... That's so funny. After all of these times that I've played, I guess I've never tried to come up here first. And you just can't get in. I guess you have to do... Do you have to go to Val Royeaux first? I guess you do have to go to Val Royeaux first because you need to... You need to meet a specific character. I'm gonna try not to spoil it as much. I feel bad, for people who might be watching this anew. So yeah, I guess that does make sense. I have never really thought of that, and I thought that I had done this before, but I guess it's always been after I've gone to Val Royeaux, so... Interesting. Okay, so let's maybe just go to somewhere else, just really quickly. Maybe I will open up, just get this camp, I think. Yeah, let's just get this camp. I'll travel back down here. Open up that camp and maybe
Hopefully
just
the Inquisition
explore.
can find some way to help these people.
Thank you, Solus. Maybe just explore just a little bit up there, but I
hear
think...
reconstruction is progressing well in Kirkwall.
I know things are bad there.
I wasn't trying to...
You weren't trying to remind me how bad it is in Kirkwall, so you decided to talk about it?
About its recovery.
What you're talking about are the buildings, and even that will take years. People don't recover so easily.
Aw.
Decent spot to camp?
Dispatch for you.
Yeah, and see, with every Inquisition camp you set up, you've got the requisition officer. That will show up as a little question mark or exclamation point. And I basically just ignore them. So if you're like, why is she not checking that exclamation point out? It's because I have seen it, trust me. I just do not want to deal with it. Okay, this is a map to a waterfall. And I know exactly where this is. We will find it later. I'm gonna collect some Blood Lotus just for a second here, because there's a certain potion that uses Blood Lotus. I can't remember exactly which one it is. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go down here and I'm gonna see if I can get rid of the Templars. It's risky because I'm still quite a low level even on this difficulty. It might be a challenge, but I'm gonna try to avoid most of these people. Sticking to the side here. Don't worry, again, if you're watching this for the first time, we will definitely come back and explore around here. I'm just trying to avoid fighting as much as I can. Oof. You're not gonna go over there, are you? Oh, Cassandra, no, come back. I'm just gonna disengage because I don't want her fighting over there. We want to go in here. Or actually, you know what we should do is just get this first. If I can. Broken bridge. This bridge was broken recently, most likely in fighting between apostate mages and renegade Templars. So this is the Templar stronghold, and you have to go all the way back in here to finish it.
The Templars have secured a position ahead.
Yeah, see, I don't generally focus on any defensive spells. Like, I normally, as a mage, don't cast barrier if I have another mage in the party, which I normally do. To me, the best combo is 2 mages, a warrior, and a rogue. With two mages, you've got one who is casting barrier all the time, and then another who's mostly damage. It works quite well.
Safer on the King's Road now.
We must still deal with the apostates, however.
And that's it. So that one's not that bad. And you get this cool sword. The Swedish Fingers. It's a very bizarre sword, but it's pretty decent for early game. Usually give to Cassandra. I guess I'll have to do some inventory I might pause, or I might do some after I stop this recording, which I think I'll have to do soon. And then, if you're curious, back here you can see, let's get a better look. This is the waterfall from that map that we just found, so if you're looking for the location for that, look for these little dirt patches. There it is. Okay. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to get to the next camp, and then we'll stop, I think. So I'll just head down this way. Probably shouldn't have jumped there. Didn't really need to. Oh, and also, when you get rid of the Templars and Apostates, you get rid of this like crazy intense music that's happening all the time, which is kind of nice. A letter found on a dead body. Take it back, take it back, take it back. Dreams won't stop until you take it back to the Western Fortress. They will never stop. You will wake up screaming and find notes written by your own sleeping hand. Take it back, or I will draw allies to do it for me. Creepy. Is there a chest in here? No. A letter found on a dead dwarf. I don't care how many demons and apostates are in that area. The package was lost somewhere on the river north of those farms. Follow the river and find it, or we'll find you. That must be Carta.
No normal wolf would fight with such determination.
The breach may have driven them mad. Or perhaps a demon took command of the pack.
It always makes me sad with the sad dog noises. Like, I don't want to kill you, wolves. I'm sorry. I'm just heading straight to this camp here. Well, I'll take a little quick look in here, but we'll explore this in the next video more thoroughly. A letter in an empty home. Endrin. They're telling everyone to leave until the mages and Templars stop burning everything down. I saw the way the merchants were looking, though. If we just flee, they'll pick our houses clean. I'm taking our little project to the cave in the hills up north. You know the one. It'll be safe there until this all blows over. Hessel.
So, set up camp or keep moving?
Okay. So that's a good place to stop, I think. And then in the next video, we will start exploring Redcliffe Farm and do some of the quests around here. Hopefully get the Horsemaster. And then maybe we'll have enough power by that point to head over to Val Royeaux and get a few new party members, which is always exciting. So thanks for watching again, and I'll see you in the next video.